Hey, in today's video, I wanted to talk about something that really does hit hard in the financial realm of education that a lot of people don't talk enough about. I hear a lot about all these wealth killers, and that was a good subject I wanted to hit one day as what is the number one wealth killer that actually hurts a lot of Americans. And of course, you'll find this typical answer is that too much debt, people living beyond their means and all this other stuff. And most of the time, a lot of the financial YouTubers will point to a car being the number one wealth killer. And I understand that is a big portion of definitely something that does affect people's ability to build wealth. But there's something even bigger right now that's actually happening, not only in the United States, but it is primarily in the US system right now. The bigger problem is not so much even buying stuff, but it's bills that come up because of unforeseen things. And I'm talking medical bills. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because when I used to do a lot of budgeting and helping people figure out their finances or where they want to end up going and being, I always came across the one subject that people didn't really need or seem to think about. And one of the reasons being is that I used to also, or I am licensed to sell long-term care insurance. And this is why I've always thought that this is something that's not taught enough, because as you start to learn about long-term care insurance, even the state of California, when you go through your continuing ed classes about insurance, they always mention the need for long-term care because it hurts so many Americans about having issues with basically health care, and then of course bills. So the first thing I want to say is, whatever age you are watching this, if you are in decent health or you're not actually drowning in debt because of your health issues, start taking care of your health. And another reason why this came to mind is, as I left the doctor or the dentist office yesterday, there's a lot of work that they said I would need to get done over the next few years, probably over $10,000 worth of work. I don't need it now urgently. And half the time I feel as though it's a sales pitch and an upsell. Honestly, because it's one of those things, you don't know if you're not a mechanic, and if the mechanic's ripping you off. But same with dentists, you just never know. And it's so expensive for stuff. And dental insurance is one of the worst ever. It is, I think it's almost practically a scam that it's so bad as far as dental insurance goes. It's just a way for more rates to be jacked up and for more middlemen to make more money along the way. And that's my personal opinion as an insurance agent. But needless to say, I would like to go ahead and bring out some of the stats that might surprise you and simple things that you can do to just prevent maybe some catastrophic financial problems. If you just know, you just kind of need to take care of your health a little better. Now, dental stuff, all that being said, of course, brushing your teeth, but some people just have dental issues. Now, there are people out there that are born with medical issues that can't be helped. Allergies, those type of things come up, or just things develop over time. Of course, unfortunately, people get really bad diseases or even cancer, and those type of things can just devastate a family's wealth. So how bad is it? And I'm going to say a lot of times this is an American issue. And I'm going to start feeling, and the reason why it's also a big forefront in my mind is, being that I have gone full-time to YouTube, I am going to be finally losing all of my medical insurance benefits at the end of this month. That's only 2 more weeks away, so I need to go ahead and find out a way to go and start paying for that, which is very expensive. At my age, it's running about $1,000 a month, and that will cover me in case of any big issues. So that's $12,000 a year that's just going to be taken out of our income. The burden of medical debt, all right, a lot of people already have a lot of coverage. Over 90% of the population has some type of insurance. But how bad is the problem even with that? Here's what's mind-blowing. More than half of adult Americans, 56%, that's more than half, have medical debt, and nearly a quarter of the population, which is 23% or more, owe more than $10,000 in medical debt. And that is just mind-blowing to me. And I've been in situations where we owed a lot of money. One of the reasons why we didn't really start having kids right away is because we wanted to have enough money to afford it, or decent insurance that would cover a lot of it. Having a child is enormously expensive. And unfortunately, it could be that I think we waited too long. We're having a very difficult time having kids at this age now, at this time. But we are seeing the expenses and hearing it from our siblings. My brother and sister both have 2 kids each. My wife, her siblings have 2 kids. It's just not including the cost of feeding kids and taking care of them in general, but medical expenses are really expensive. And even there are times where I hear relatives saying, I don't know if I'll go to the doctor. I don't need to go now because they're worried about the cost. Or I've even heard people that I've worked with say that there is something definitely wrong. You should go see the doctor. and they're waiting too long. And sometimes it can be deadly. But I understand the cost and expense. There was once I got the flu while I was there was some flu that was really going around that was really scary at the time. And I took a trip to Hawaii. I didn't have insurance and I got stuck there because of this flu that I caught. And then when I had to go to urgent care because I started having chest pains and problems, and it was from dehydration, and it was $1,000. In fact, more than $1,000. And I had to make payments for years on that because I couldn't afford it. I didn't have any insurance. I think I was in between jobs at the time. And I get it, how expensive it can be and why you're going to sometimes take chances that, you'll just get better on your own. Now, the problem is you can't always rely on that. And unfortunately, medical issues are sometimes just going to come up. So you have to go ahead and be ready for that. But this is obviously 56% of people have medical debt. And 23, like a quarter of the population, of adult population, has over $10,000 in debt for medical bills. And this can be just devastating. They talk about car being the number one wealth killer, but yes, and I understand that too, but that's a choice people can make and avoid. Unfortunately, sometimes these health things are not seen as choices, but in a small way they can be. If you are not healthy, you might want to start taking care of yourself a little better. And it's just, I hear my grandmother talking to me I'm talking as my grandmother, because I remember her telling me this all the time. Your body can only cover up so many problems when you're young, but when you get older, it can catch up to you pretty quick. And yeah, I absolutely believe that now. And I want to go in and pass those words that my grandmother passed on, that to say, take care of your health. It's all you got. And that's another thing, is if you're here learning about wealth and you don't have your health, that's absolutely just a waste. You're not going to be able to go ahead and do everything you want with that if you just don't take care of yourself. So please do me a favor. Just think about it a little bit more. If you are unhealthy and you are going down a path where you could be heading toward diabetes, high blood pressure, all this other stuff, or you're overly stressed and you're not taking care of your mental health, that causes physical health problems. And I get it. I push myself really hard to the point where I actually do have some physical manifestations from stress. And I need to watch out, take care of myself. I've started walking 3 miles a day just to go ahead and relieve a little more of the stress that's been happening on trying to do this challenge of mine or to build this new business. And it's getting better, and I actually feel a lot better. But I wanted to pass that on, that sometimes you just need to be aware if there are things you can do, things you can eat healthier, avoid more sugars, whatever it is, that you can do that little thing, because it could catch up to you faster than you could ever imagine. And it's putting over 500,000 people into bankruptcy a year. And I think the last one was 550,000. It's an enormous amount of people who are being devastated by these medical issues. So thank you so much for listening. I'm sorry to sound like I'm going to be doing a lecture today on this, but for the most part, I just want to bring that to your attention. Even my teeth, it's not that I don't take care of my teeth. It's just that I'm having some recession issues now. And of course, old root canals are now not being recommended. So they're replacing root canals, and these got to be taken care of. And the only way to replace a root canal is to put an implant. And those are thousands of dollars each. So take care of your teeth, take care of your health, take care of you all in all, because we want you around a long time, and we want you healthy and wealthy for a long time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.